Beauty isn't about having a pretty face. It is about a pretty mind, a pretty heart, and most importantly, a beautiful soul. So, today we are going to learn about one such great persona, one such eminent scientist who was not only genius but was very beautiful by his heart. Okay, so before we begin, let me ask you all a few questions. Who do you think of when you hear the word genius? Who is a genius? What qualities do you think a genius has? We shall now read about a young German civil servant who took the world by storm about 100 years ago. In the summer of 1905, the 26-year-old published in quick succession four groundbreaking papers about light, the motion of particles, the electrodynamics of moving bodies, and energy. His work took up only a few pages in scientific journals, but changed forever our understanding of space, time, and the entire cosmos, and transformed the name Einstein into a synonym for genius. 50 years after his death, Albert Einstein's genius still reigns, it still persists. The title of the chapter, A Truly Beautiful Mind, refers to Albert Einstein as he was a great scientist. Moreover, the chapter is a short biography of his, where they highlight some of his qualities. Also, the chapter shows Albert's interest in mathematics and physics and his ordinary human attribute. However, the title, A Truly Beautiful Mind, may let you all wonder how a scientist's mind can be beautiful. It is because in this lesson we get to know about another aspects of his life, his other side, that he believes in humanity. He advocated peace, non-violence in his life. Moreover, he advocates world peace, as I told you right now, non-violence in his entire life. That is why the title refers to him as a truly beautiful man. So, here we are going to read a biography of a great scientist, a great physicist, Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was born on 14 March 1879 in the German city of Ulm, without any indication that he was destined for greatness, or one day he would be a great scientist. He was made to do great jobs. On the contrary, his mother thought Albert was a freak. He was not like a normal being. Okay, freak, as you can see over here, is a word used disapprovingly to talk about a person who is unusual and does not behave, look, or think like others. So, his mother thought that he was quite different from other children. To her, his head seemed much too large. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking. When he finally did learn to speak, he spoke everything twice. Einstein did not know what to do with other children, and his playmates called him rather boring. So the youngster played by himself. So the youngsters played by himself much of the time. He especially loved mechanical toys. Looking at his newborn sister Marja, he is said to have said, "Fine, but where are her wheels?" A headmaster once told his father that what Einstein chose as a profession wouldn't matter because he will never make a success at anything. Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to. He later became gifted a mature violinist, maintaining the skill throughout his life. A mature means a layman, doing something for personal enjoyment rather than as a profession. But Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. Pupil here means student. He went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. Einstein hated the school's regimentation and often clashed with his teachers. At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stupid that he left the school for good. So the headmaster of his school regards him as a stupid and good for nothing. But then he proved all of them wrong. When he was 6, on his mother's insistence, he learned to play the violin and became a skillful violinist. His family shifted to Munich, as you can see over here, when he was 15. But there, he feels uncomfortable with the strict regimentation, strict discipline. You can see this word over here. Strict regimentation means strict discipline. Fine. Now, of the school, so he left it. The previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan and left their son with relatives. After prolonged discussion, Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German-speaking Switzerland, in a city which was more liberal than Munich. Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics and interested in physics, and after finishing school, he decided to study at a university in Zurich. But science wasn't the only thing that appealed to the dashing young man with the walrus mustache. Now, after completing his schooling, he gets admission in the University of Zurich. Because the atmosphere in the university was more liberal and they expect new ideas and concepts. Besides, he was more interested in physics and mathematics. At the university, he met a fellow student, Mileva Marek. So you can see over here, he also felt a special interest in a fellow student, Mileva Marek, whom he found to be a clever creature. This young Serb, who was Serbian, had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees. Einstein saw in her an ally, that is partner, against the Philistines. Philistines are the people who have very indifferent, attitude towards art or literature. So here you can say that these are the people who do not like art, literature or music. Those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. The couple fell in love. Letters survive in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with tenderness. Wrote Einstein, "How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion." So she was equally clever and intelligent, my dear children. Afterwards, they married and they fell in love with each other and had 2 sons. But unluckily, their marriage did not last and they split in 1990. Subsequently, after finishing the education, Albert worked as a technical expert in the patent office at Bern. Also there, he secretly worked on his idea on relativity, to what he has talked about here. So in 1900, at the age of 21, Albert Einstein was a university graduate and unemployed. He worked as a teaching assistant, gave private lessons, and finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. Okay, patent means a document which gives the rights of an invention to an inventor. Fine. So while he was supposed to be assessing, helping others, Einstein was actually developing his own ideas in secret. He is said to have jokingly called his desk drawer at work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. So he secretly worked on the theory of relativity, and there, he jokingly called his desk drawer at the work, what he says is Bureau of Theoretical Physics. Fine. So he put out his paper on the special theory of relativity, which follows by the world popular equation E is equal to mc squared. In addition, he also publicizes his paper on general theory of relativity in 1915. This gave an absolutely new definition to the concept of gravity. Also, this theory makes him a famous figure. So, one of the famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory, as I told you, that was the theory of relativity that was published, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they continue together again after a journey if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. From this followed the world's most famous formula which describes the relationship between mass and energy, that is E is equal to mc squared. In this mathematical equation, E stands for energy, M for mass, and C for the speed of the light in vacuum. When you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, it seems like 2 minutes. When you sit on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it seems like 2 hours. That's called relativity, said by Albert Einstein. So while Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling, undergoing disturbance. Albert had wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. She thought Mileva, who was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. She was also bothered by Mileva's intelligence, as I told she was quite clever. She is a book like you, his mother said. Einstein put the wedding off. The pair finally married in January 1903 and had 2 sons. But a few years later, the marriage faltered. It broke down. Mileva, it failed, you can say. Mileva, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. After 2 years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1990. Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. Einstein's new personal chapter coincided with his rise to world fame. In 1915, as I told you, had published his General Theory of Relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity, and he became very famous. And then during the solar eclipse of 1919, his theory came out as accurate and changed physics. When Nazi came to power in Germany, he immigrated to the USA. He does so because he did not want his research and findings to be used for destruction. Further, when Germany discovered the principle of nuclear fission in 1938, he was the first person to write to the American president about the dangers of atomic bombs. So you can see over here, Einstein's new personal chapter coincided with his rise to the world fame. In 1915, he had published his General Theory of Relativity, which provided a new interpretation, as I told you, of gravity. An eclipse of the sun in 1919 brought proof that it was accurate. This theory was accurate. Einstein had correctly calculated in advance the extent to which the light from fixed stars would be deflected through the sun's gravitational field. The newspapers proclaimed his work as a scientific revolution. Einstein received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. He was showered with honors and invitations from all over the world, and lauded, was appreciated, praised by the press. When the Nazis came to power in Germany, as I told you, in 1933, Einstein immigrated to the United States. After years later, the discovery of nuclear fission in Berlin had American physicists in an uproar. Many of them had fled from fascism, just as Einstein had, and now they were afraid the Nazis could build and use an atomic bomb. So that was threat to humanity. Now moving on to the next slide. At the urging of a colleague, Einstein wrote a letter to the American President Franklin D. Roosevelt on 2nd August 1931, in which he warned a single bomb of this type exploded in a port might very well destroy the whole port together with some of the surrounding territory. His words did not fail to have an effect. The Americans developed that atomic bomb in a secret project of their own and dropped it on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. Einstein was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction, as he always advocated humanity. He was a peace-loving person besides being a great scientist. This time he wrote a public missive, public report, letter, especially long and official, to the United Nations. In it, he proposed the formation of a world government. Unlike the letter to Roosevelt, this one made no impact. But over the next decade, Einstein got ever more involved in politics, agitating for an end to the arms buildup and using his popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. So he was against arms, and then again he used his popularity for establishing peace and democracy around the world. Moreover, in 1945, when America threw down the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, he was deeply hurt, as I told you. Also, he writes a letter to the United Nations for the formation of world government so that it can prevent reoccurrence of such destruction. In the last days, he spent most of it in politics, advocating world peace and democracy. The great scientist died at the age of 76 in the year 1955. He was celebrated as a visionary, a person who can think about the future in an original and intelligent way, a great visionary, and world citizen as much as a scientific genius. I hope the chapter is quite clear to you. So it was a short biography on Albert Einstein. Go through the chapter. If you have any doubt in any line, we will discuss it again. Try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. Thank you.